Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this particular video, I'm going to walk you through some of the methodology to perform security testing on web APIs. Okay, so I've already made couple of, I think, 3 videos on web API already. If you have not checked that, I'll put the link in the description. You can go ahead and check that and make sure you put your comment. Now, in this particular video, we are specifically going to talk about performing security testing on API. So if you could see that mouse, like wherever it has been highlighted, you could see that was top 10 for API. So we are going to utilize this website called as Application Security Training for Developers, and this is basically created by Contra. And I really like the content that they have made, and I'll put the link in the description so that you can also get to know, and then let me know if you have any query or other thing. Of course, we are not going to walk through the entire walkthrough of all those vulnerability. Probably yes, if you guys want me to make a videos on all those walkthrough or all those vulnerability of API was top 10 API, then I will definitely make that. But for this specific video, let's focus on one video, and so that I can give you my explanation and you also get some knowledge out of it. So let's go ahead and collect, let's say, broken object level authentication or authorization, sorry. And here you could see that it says this is the CBS crack track application, and LS is one of the security consultant who perform and Bob is to perform security test on it. So let's not read too many things and jump into the content. So let's click on next. Now over here it says you already have an account, and yeah, you can use this user ID password that is provided over here. I'll just simply go ahead and copy paste it, not even type, right? So that's how friendly this website is. Now once you sign in, there is something called as prescription. Okay, so in usually any application you will have this kind of stuff, like you can view the previous record history or even bank transactions, or even things like you can also see things like previously done any transaction, other thing. So next is we need to click on this prescription, and there it says like order history. So you could see that Bob has is 59 and he has ordered some of the pills. Right now, next, go ahead and click. Now you could see that in the UI section we have all, hold order, and ship delivered order and other things. So let's click on all as per the steps. Now as soon as we click on order on all, this is the request that is been getting captured, and you could see the details, right? It has something called as API user and slash the parameter value and some order value. Now it also has the filter all, and for this specific user you could have this okay response, that is Bob is 59 and this is the address and all those details. So we could see the analyze, this is the URL pattern basically, and this is the filter all which we already spoke. Now for this specific, again let's go ahead and perform the analyze. So you could see that order analyze the response Bob node is the server response with the array of order associated with the current user or the Bob user, right? Now let's go ahead and click next. Now this is what the important about this particular website. It also shows you what could have been the backend code. So if you are familiar with any programming language like Java, Python, or even C, C++, you could easily make it that this is the get mapping kind of the API cost that is happening, and it has something called as response entity, and the path variable it is taking basically is the user ID, and the string those it passed is user ID, order request, order kind of two value. So order request is getting again get order by user ID, whatever the user ID parameter it has fetched, and also it is fetching the user details by using this get user details user ID. So this is where the vulnerability lies in fact the code in, if you perform analyze, it says that get order method basically retrieve the user details, and you could also see that user ID which represents the ID of the current user responds with the list of order associated with it, and the other one is the user details which already spoke about, right? And yeah, the response object is then sent back to the user details in the whatever browser he was using. Okay, Now what we're gonna do is we are going to modify this user id value with some different user id value. So you could see that the user ending 20, let's change it to 21. Okay, that's how usually we perform in idor. So basically a user id value will be basically bind with a group of values, like in object carrying different multiple values, and you try to either increase or decrease. That's way you identify the idor, right? So I have already made a video. If you have not checked that, you can check that. This specific video is basically to give you an idea about this particular platform and make you learn some of the basics. So you can modify this id value like we have done over here, either increase or decrease. That's way you can send the request. Again, note the filter is still all. Now the moment you send the request, you could see that list user and is 30, and these are the order details. The other user has ordered some pills, but this user has ordered some tablets, right? So that way you got a confirmation that you could actually access the other user details also. You could perform the analyze response. You can see that previously it used to be Bob, but right now it the Alice user, right, or different user, and also the details that I just spoke about. So this is a pretty much I believe from this video. And yeah, the good part is they also speaks about the vulnerability in the code. Probably you can read that, like the user id method was used to retrieve the user specific information, and it relying on the user id parameter basically to fetch some of the details. So guys, you also need to understand that understanding the behind code is really important to find vulnerability. That is where you get the maximum knowledge. So that's why this piece of code is really helpful. And yeah, this is the response. It is basically setting bug. Now let's have a look at the mitigation. Now this code is specifically looks really great because it is basically checking from the current session the user id value. Even if you are trying to modify from the current session, if the parameter is not visible itself, how will you modify? That's why you stop the idle right there. Also you could see that we are performing get authentication to check whether the user is authenticated or not. From there we are actually facing the user id value, and then we are facing the details based on the user id. I mean, if it is not, then obviously you are going to get some forbidden status because that user is not authenticated. So all these things it is doing is basically putting a level of check before going ahead and uh, fetching any information from the backend. So I have already made a video on automating IDOR, so you could check that. So I have done that with using with Puff Suite extension as well. So this is particularly how the fixed code looks like for this IDOR mitigation. Okay, so I hope you would have got some knowledge about IDOR. Do let me know in the comment box if you want me to make videos on all those other exercises as well, like this one, broken authentication and rate limit bypass and all those things. Though I have made those video, if you guys want me to make a complete video, I can definitely go ahead and make video on all this video with explanation so that you get the real knowledge. Thanks for watching. Do share this video. Have a great day.